Hello and welcome to our today's tutorial. Today I am going to demonstrate how you can calculate your cGPA or GPA for a semester final result or year final result. This is Imran Manik. I will be giving you the demonstration. Before starting, let's talk about letter grade, grade point, and credit point for credit courses. According to the UGC, this is the system for grading in case of pharmacy, where if anyone gets 80% and above marks, she or he will be awarded with A plus, and A plus is corresponding to grade point 4.00. If the mark is 75 to 79%, then the letter grade will be irregular and the grade point will be 3.75. If the mark is 70 to 74%, then the letter grade will be A minus and the grade point will be 3.50. 65 to 69% grade number will provide B plus and the grade point will be 3.25. 60 to 64% marks will provide B regular corresponding to 3.00 grade point. Marks which is equal to 55 to 59% will have B minus letter grade and the grade point will be 2.75. Similarly, the marks which is corresponding to 50 to 54% will have C plus letter grade and 2.50 grade point. Marks with 45 to 49% will have a letter grade C regular and will get grade point 2.25. Marks which is equal to 40 to 44% will have letter grade D and grade point 2.00. And anyone who gets less than 40% will be recorded as fail and have no grade point. If he or she do not complete her courses, she or he will get I. And this is the credit point. Credit point for these courses has been set to have 4. The credit point may be 3, maybe 2, maybe 1, or may 1.5. It may change. So during the calculation, we will use credit point 4. But if you have a different credit point, you will have to use that credit point for the calculation of your particular result. Okay, let's move on. Now the formula for calculating the grade point and grade point, the formula says that grade point average, GPA means grade point average, is equal to sum of credit point, individual subject or individual course, credit point of individual course multiplied by grade point of individual course divided by sum of credit point of individual course. The sum of credit point of individual course is regarded as total credit point. So we have to calculate the sum of individual credit point multiplied by grade point, and then we have to divide the result with the total credit point, which is equal to the sum of credit point for individual courses. Now let's move on for an illustration where I'm going to demonstrate how you can calculate your result. For our illustration purpose, we have taken a sample, a letter grade of a student. He or she has got A grade in the course 501, and according to the chart, A grade is corresponding to 3.75, and the student has obtained A plus in 502. A plus, the corresponding grade point for A plus is 4.00. The student has got B plus in 503 and B plus is equal to 3.25 in grade point. B minus in 504, which is corresponding to 2.75 in grade point. C grade in 505, that means 2.25 in grade point, and the student has failed in 506 course. So the grade point will be 0. Now the formula is we have to multiply the credit point with the grade point. Then we have to summarize or sum or compile the product of credit point and grade point. Afterwards, we have to divide the sum with the total credit point. That means the total credit point will be the credit point from 501 to 506. Okay, let's do. So according to the formula, we are going to multiply the credit point. Credit point for 501 to 506 is 4. So we are going to multiply this credit point with the individual grade point. So for 501, 4 is multiplied with 3.75 plus 502. For 502, 4 is multiplied with 4.00. For 503, 4 is multiplied with 3.25 corresponding grade point. For 504, credit point 4 is multiplied with 2.75 corresponding grade point. In a similar manner, for 505, the credit point 4 has been multiplied with 2.25, the corresponding grade point. And finally, for 506, the credit point 4 is multiplied with 00 because the student has failed in this course. And for F grade, the grade point is 00. So after multiplication of individual grade point and credit point, these individual values must be compiled, and the sum of this value is 64.00. And the sum of the individual credit point is 24. That means 24 is the total credit point, and this is the sum of grade point multiplied by credit point. And if we divide 64 with 24, if we divide 64 by 24, the result is 2.66. And if we look at our chart, 2.66 lies between 2.50 and 2.75. That means 2.66 is greater than 2.50. So the corresponding letter grade will be C+. So the corresponding letter grade for this individual student will be C+. In this way, you can calculate the cumulative grade point, but the cGPA. You have to multiply your GPA and total credit point for individual semester, then sum the results for all the semester. Afterwards, you have to divide the result with the total credit of your honors course. It may be 160, it may be 150, whatever it is. In this way, you can calculate your cGPA. I think you have understood how you can calculate the GPA and cGPA. That's all for today. If you have any question regarding the calculation of GPA and cGPA, you can leave your comment, leave your question in the comment box, or ask directly in the Facebook Messenger. Thanks to all for watching this tutorial. Have a nice day.